Be informed, be inspired. Join us for the Pregnancy, Birth and Beyond show. Tune in and listen for both modern and ancient wisdom on all things maternity, parenting and sacred women's business, right here on the Pregnancy, Birth and Beyond show.
You're tuned to Pregnancy, Birth and Beyond, contemporary conversations where stories, science, traditions and new ideas meet. Our show is coming to you from the studios of Bay FM in Byron Bay and is broadcasting across Australia on the Community Radio Network. The question all new parents are asked is he a good baby? And does she sleep through the night yet? And another common one is, does she cry much? New babies need so much from us. Endless holding, cuddling and reassurance. And then there's the constant feeding, nappy changes and the mountains of laundry. Recovering from birth while also caring for a brand new baby is arguably one of life's most demanding periods. And if the baby is frequently unsettled through this period, the strain on parents is acute, especially when we're operating on snatches of broken sleep. This period can have us operating in a fully stressed state and frankly not always thinking straight. We're also learning on the job. What does this little person need? How can I ever match their needs? Am I really qualified for this gig anyway? And then there's all the unsolicited and often conflicting advice to cope with. In this show, we're going to shine the light on the early months with a new baby with midwife Jayne Alder. What babies need, what parents need, and how to cope. Welcome to today's show, Jayne.
Thanks, Sally. It's lovely to be here.
Jayne Alder is a registered nurse and midwife, a mother and a grandmother, a nurse for 44 years and a midwife for 22 years. Jayne trained as a nurse in New Zealand and started home birthing in Dublin 18 years ago. Jayne practiced as a home birth midwife in the Byron Shire for 7 years. And then she moved to the outback to work with Indigenous women, doing nursing and pre and post maternity care and all of the other nursing jobs that were required there. Jayne is focusing her work these days on supporting mothers in the postnatal period, but also education on the postnatal period, or the fourth trimester, as Jayne likes to call it. And that is what mothers need in the first 3 months of birth. So, Jayne, I'd like to hear firstly a little bit about your history. How did you come to the world of birth?
Birthing for me came unexpectedly to work as a birth practitioner. When I had my last daughter at home, a very rapid home birth, and the feeling was just amazing. The euphoria just blew me away, and so I thought, well, how can I keep feeling this amazing feeling without having children all the time? So I decided to go back with 4 children and study my midwifery, something I just love. I just love being around birth.
I've only been at my own births, but I hear that the oxytocin that's in the room at the time of a birth is felt by everybody else in the room. Do you think it has an addictive quality for birth workers?
I think it does. We do have it balanced out by births that aren't a bit more challenging, aren't as euphoric, but it's there. It's there no matter how the baby's born. It's the most amazing feeling when you're there, when a new life comes. And the parents, especially when a father loses it and starts crying, that's when I cry too. I mean, I often cry without that, but it's just the most amazing feeling. One I can't. I mean, being at a birth's amazing, but being a mother and birthing is one of the most amazing feelings I think I've ever had. Yeah, as you know.
Have you been at your daughter's births? Because you have 4 daughters, is that right?
Yes. My first daughter has 3 boys. I was at my first grandson's birth. That was beautiful. It was a bit of a challenging birth, but it was still beautiful. It's quite different in a different frame of mind when you're a grandparent welcoming a grandchild and you're not going through the labour. Beautiful.
I wonder too if there's something special for a mother to see her daughter becoming a mother through that process.
Oh, very special. Yeah, very special. She did an amazing job, as all mothers do. Yeah, and the transformation of, I think, women when they become mothers is beautiful to watch. Yeah.
Was there something different that happened in your relationship in that moment?
I think for her, she probably understood where I came from, and then she went on to have 2 more babies 2 years later, so she had 3 boys under 3, so she was all thrown into motherhood at a very young age. And I think she got to see a bit of my world as a mother of 4, and I got to respect her for what she's done in a short time. I didn't have 3 children under 2, and I just, probably loved her more the way she parented and loved her boys.
Jayne, in today's show, it would be great for us to just identify the major areas that you feel that you're helping parents with these days. And I gather it's around expectations that families have that you believe to be unreasonable, or and that as a consequence plays a huge strain. What do you feel are the main areas that parents and families, often the extended family, are confused about?
Well, the main one's sleep. The expectations that a newborn's going to sleep it's not real, as you know, Sally.
Yeah.
Babies there have a 45-minute sleep cycle as a newborn, and the first half of that is the REM sleep, which is a rapid eye movement sleep, which is a very light sleep. So if you're lucky, after 20 minutes they'll go into a deep, calm sleep, and they'll sleep another 20 minutes, but it doesn't always work. And it's okay to cuddle and hold your baby. Your baby, it feels so insecure from going from in the womb to the outside world. It's such a huge transition. We don't acknowledge that enough, I think, what the baby has to go through from one environment to the next. No matter what, there's no right way to do anything. And I keep saying that to mums. Just because your friend's done it this way and it worked for her, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And it's the old cliche, you know what to do intuitively. You knew how to birth your baby, you know how to feed your baby. And just follow those cues. It's one of my biggest tips of advice. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And if you don't want help, ask for help, because it takes a village to raise a child. You're not alone. For some reason we think in this little insular world we've just got to do it all ourselves, and we're a failure if we ask. We've just got to ask for help. I wish I'd asked for help more. I wish I'd not tried to be a super mum. That was my downfall. I didn't ask for help and look after me.
I know that feeling. I really know that feeling. And so a really big theme in this program is reaching out for support, the importance of that. We're not supposed to do it alone.
No, that's
we
right.
do it in a stressed way, and therefore we don't do it very well. And we're always disappointed with the output as a consequence. You're tuned to Pregnancy, Birth and Beyond. Welcome back. You're here with me, Sally Cusack, and I'm speaking with midwife Jayne Alder today about life with a newborn and how to get through that incredibly demanding and wonderful and transformative period. So, Jayne, we foreshadowed that we were going to talk about sleep and firstly the misconceptions that people have around how much a baby really sleeps, a brand new baby, and that you see this period as the 4th trimester.
Yeah, that's right. And 1/3 of parents think that their baby's not sleeping enough, there's something wrong, when actually they're sleeping perfectly. Yeah.
I was probably one of those parents.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is linked to you wanting more sleep. So just as you lie down to go to sleep, they wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And trying to get everything done when they're asleep. We try and run around like super mums.
Yes.
Thinking it has to be done today, where actually those dishes can wait, the washing. Some visitor can put washing out. Someone can do your dishes. But I didn't know that when I had my babies. I wish I was more accepting of things being left. Yeah.
Or I think also people struggle with asking for help.
So much, myself included, yeah. Ask for help.
A lot of us live away from our families, so it's not always, the help isn't always offered.
That's right. It's paramount to the postnatal period, because the postnatal, the 0 to 3 months, which is what we call the 4th trimester, it's about replicating the womb. So you want that baby to have a similar environment, and a baby can't have that environment if you're rushing around, going out for lunch, picking up kids from school, doing all that. You will have an unsettled baby. The baby knows. The baby can feel your energy, can feel the anxiety, the adrenaline overload, all those things. Your baby picks up on it. And when you're home, you're still, you're focused, you're nurtured. Someone brings you meals. Someone pops in and weighs the baby, measures baby. All those little things just help for that 4th trimester evolution to the next stage, because there is no magic fix to make your baby sleep. There's many different ways, as you know, if you Google it, how to get your baby to sleep through the night. And some of them aren't very nice, but some of them work. But sometimes we're teaching our baby that it's okay. If I leave you to cry, you'll be all right, then you'll sleep. But then that can cause other issues too. So sleeping in a newborn is probably one of the biggest challenges, as you say. Sleep deprivation. If you've had a long birth or a cesarean, you're coming through major surgery and looking after a newborn, it's so hard. That's why I think the 4th trimester care is so important. We're all prepared for the birth, but often we're not prepared for the 4th trimester, and that's when mothers say, oh my God, why didn't anyone tell me how hard this was going to be?
So in terms of birth preparation, what do you tell mothers who are still pregnant about this early period and how to get ready for it?
Yeah, they're very good environment with, I've noticed doing the birthing that they have a list of people to do food for a couple of weeks. Anyone offers, what can they do? Ask them. Just say, I'd love you to drop a meal off. Put it in the freezer. Cooking meals is the last thing you need to think about. And tell them what you like. Tell them what you can't have. If you're vegan or if you're gluten intolerant, whatever. Most women love to help. So put we call it a phone tree of meals to be delivered, and everyone can drop a meal off. That's one of the most important things. After I had my last daughter, April, at home, I think all the tennis girls, wasn't organised. I had 14 meals just dropped off.
Oh,
it was amazing. It was like, wow, I didn't even organise it. That took such a weight off my husband. People to come in and take the little ones, if you've got other children, have them looked after so that you and the baby can have special time, and then you can have special time with your toddlers. And self-nurture you. If you're not coping, ask for help. That was my hiccup too. I didn't think I could ask for help. I had this perception that I could do it all myself. But it was funny, I couldn't. And it wasn't until I literally cracked and had to ask for help. So that was the biggest wake up for me. It's like, okay, I'm not helping. And then all these people came and helped me. It was just beautiful. So ask for help, girls. Even from the beginning. You know, if you're free, can you just come around and put my washing out? I just can't get there. You can't even get in the shower sometimes. You know, if you're popping in, if you're visiting people with new babies, don't sit down and let them make you a cup of tea. Get up and make the cup of tea, do the dishes, clear the bench, do something to help that mother. These little things sometimes people don't see. They're so obsessed with this baby. They can't see the mother's eyes are hanging out of her head, baskets of washing in the corner. She's got a sore bottom, sore boobs, and she's probably crying. Like I used to be.
And with the first child, I remember craving I couldn't really put words to it, but I look back now and I realise that I just wanted someone to just hang out with while I struggled my way through learning how to breastfeed and be a mother. Just having company, because hubby's back at work, and, you know, in the way we live in suburbs and nobody's at home and it can be a very, very isolating time.
And very lonely, And see, nowadays young women get up a week later and they're off to the coffee shop, meet for a coffee or do this, which I don't recommend. I recommend staying as still as you can. As you say, have your friends pop in, get them bring you a nice coffee or a nice whatever you drink, and just sit there and be. Because you don't realise how much time and effort it takes to get a newborn fed, changed, and you fed and changed in the car to a coffee shop. That's huge. It's something we take for granted. It's like and when I had my twins, it was like, oh God, get these kids out of the house and me at the same time. It was like, oh my God. But it can be done, but the extent you have to go to do that